like to go ahead and call the Chickasha Industrial Authority to order. I need a roll call, please.
McCarty?
Here.
Elliott?
Here.
Gibb? Here. Smith?
Here.
Ebelflake? Here. Grayson?
Here. Item number 2, consent docket.
Make a motion that we accept as presented.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Elliott?
Yes.
Gibb?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Ebelflake?
Yes.
McCarty?
Yes.
And Grayson?
Yes. Item number 3, updates from Jim Cowan, EC Executive Director.
Okay,
Anything?
just did it. But I don't know if
Was everybody here for it?
I think Kia came in. I think you probably got it, but I mean,
I just think I came in when you started going over the
Chickasha by the members.
came in right after that.
Yeah.
So.
Did you see
We
the
started
work
talking
plan?
about the recruitment and the updated plan.
yeah. So again, I just asked to be on here so you all could ask questions if you have any. If you don't, that's fine too.
You don't always ask questions.
Good.
So this is sort of a side thing, I guess, but the discussion that people are talking about with the leg lamp and a lawsuit, is there any validity to that? Or is that just old information just to get that out on the table?
There is no lawsuit.
Okay.
I'll tell you this: the 12 merchants that in the month of January did a wizard theme promotion or Harry Potter, they were contacted Friday by Warner Brothers and said cease and desist. And what they're saying is that they couldn't use the words Harry Potter, they couldn't use the images, all that kind of stuff. The merchants are drafting a letter back saying, hey, we'll never do this again. The event was over at the end of January. Going forward, Warner Brothers, like, if you want to call it Wizard Month, go for it. Just don't use these images, don't say the word Harry Potter. But Warner Brothers was very like, hey, thank you for selling officially licensed Harry Potter merchandise. They had that information. So where I'm going with all this is that happened in the month of January, and here we are the first week in February, and they said cease and desist. Okay, so it's my belief, and I'm obviously not an attorney, that this whole deal with the leg lamp, there will be no lawsuit. Warner Brothers understands. I think they initially said, hey, we don't want you doing this, okay? But the very first letter that came out online, and Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, was when Tim said, hey, do you want to help? We want to put a leg lamp in Chickasha. Will you help us pay for it? And in the response, they said no. But no one tells that story.
Okay.
So Warner Brothers is aware of everything that's going on. There's no infringement because we're not selling admission to see the leg lamp. The merchandise that's being sold down there is officially licensed merchandise. And according to everything I've read is that for there to be an infringement, you have to be selling goods or services based upon that image. And that's not what's happening. So the Chickasha Community Foundation, when I say we, the Chickasha Community Foundation, spent a lot of time and money making sure that when they set this up, they set it up correctly. And the fact that the attorney representing the Chickasha Community Foundation, once he got the letter from Warner Brothers, he responded, well, here's the reason why they believe they're correct and that they haven't infringed upon anything. And that letter went to them in August of last year. And since then, you've heard nothing from the attorneys. So I'm just drawing a correlation. Again, not an attorney, but Warner Brothers saw what was going on with Harry Potter and within a week said, stop. Warner Brothers knew there was a leg lamp, permanent one put up in November of 2022, and then they don't do anything until the summer of 24.
There's a temporary one put up in 2020.
And 21, yeah. So
2021.
So anyway, there's a whole lot of speculation.
Sure.
All kinds of misinformation that's out there. And when I saw some of it out there, I just simply responded on a Facebook page, hey, as a member of the Chickasha Community Foundation, there's no lawsuit. Okay.
And I can expand on that Warner Brothers situation here recently because Two Vets Clothing was one of those 12 vendors that were listed on participating in that Wizard Month. So when I got the letter, I responded with, to the attorney what we were selling, and we were selling licensed merchandise. It was, Harry Potter soap through Dr. Squatch. And so once I sent that in, the attorney sent right back and said, no, you're good. Then he came back and asked if we were to use any kind of advertisement that used intellectual property. I said no. And then he said, okay, you're good to go. But that happened the same day. That's how quick they were on it. Not only was he would respond to me and he said, I'll check with my client being Warner Brothers. I'd get same day response. I have 4 emails from one day from this one attorney. So I know they're on it. You know, it's quick.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I'm saying is if they were wanting to push the issue, they'd push the issue because they're on it.
I think the other misinformation that's out there I read was, oh my gosh, the city's going to get sued for millions. I'm pretty sure I heard our city manager say recently, this is not a city issue. The city doesn't own the property. They don't own the leg lamp. They don't have anything to do with it. So the city's not going to get sued for anything. Now, that doesn't stop people from, saying it, but it's the reality is no, there's no lawsuit. If something ever did come about, the Chickasha Community Foundation has a trademark attorney that feels very comfortable defending anything that could possibly come up in the future, and it won't involve the city of Chickasha.
I'm not good at Facebook, so I don't read all of the things. I just get bits and pieces, and I just kind of wanted to get it out.
You're missing out, that's where all the accurate news is.
I know. That's why I say all the
I feel like that's what's on Facebook is parts. People
Sure.
that want to push an agenda, they put certain parts on there to,
Sure.
just like you're saying, there's plenty that's not shared that, justifies the other side to that.
Sure.
And don't get me wrong, Facebook can be used as a tool. Like that's how I found out about the destruction out at Shannon Springs Park when they got that man live.
Yeah.
Somebody shared it on Facebook, and I said, we'll talk to Jim about it, and we're getting it rectified. So, that does have its uses, but most of the time it's bits and pieces or people only putting out part of the story
Sure.
because they're stirring the pot and whatnot. But
Cool.
It's uses as far as bringing light to something that should have been called into the city. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Sure.
I'm like, thank goodness our mayor's watching.
Right.
I spend way more time on it than I should.
I'm sure you get tagged a lot more than you
I
want
do,
to say.
but it's part of the job, and I don't respond to everything because some of it's the nonsensical stuff I don't even entertain. But something like I saw the Shannon Springs thing, where somebody posted about a light pole on the corner of I can't remember what intersection was split, and it looked like it was. Well, I just called PSO. Like they said, the city is going to let that light pole be like that.
Sure.
Well, we don't know that.
Right.
They don't know that, so I just
Yeah.
made a call. So things like that, it helps. Little things. But,
Very good.
it takes up a good portion of my day. It's awesome.
I know.
Grateful for that.
Yeah. That's all we've got. We don't have anything to vote on or anything else. So any more discussion before I entertain a motion to adjourn? Okay, with that, then let's do item number 4, adjournment.
Second.
Well, who was the first?
Motion.
So moved.
I'll make a
There we
motion.
go. Motion
I was gonna
and
say.
second, we're adjourned.